The Knights of the Pork Pie Chronic.
Well,
Power.
this is episode 1 of our vlog, or whatever we're going to talk about.
That's right, whatever it's called.
Whatever it's talk about. I have a glass of wine, which is quite nice.
Yeah, I've got a drive, which isn't so nice.
Yeah, so you're going to see a gig tonight, aren't you?
Gonna
you going?
Going to Mother's Ruin to see Rita Lynch.
Rita Lynch?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You did send me a couple of links.
Yeah.
For it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is quite
Bristol
interesting.
punk royalty she is.
Hang on, we need to start this again, because I just remember we hadn't introduced ourselves.
Oh yeah.
That's right, yeah. Hang on, so I'm Rich.
Yeah, I'm Ed.
Ed and Rich.
Yeah.
I don't think we ain't got a name for the show yet, have we?
No.
This is a vlog done on the cheap. As you can see, we've got our mic thing there on a really crappy little stand. But anyway,
we've got some changing lights as well.
Yeah, I've created that.
They don't really show up on the...
I created that effect.
Yeah.
It's pretty epic, really.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit
impressive.
It is, mate. That's it. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, do you know what? Because it's interesting, because when we talk about music and stuff, because I was thinking about like open mics.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The open mic scene.
I love them. Yeah.
See, now I think they're great.
Yeah.
I do think they're great. It's interesting because you get some people that are quite negative sometimes towards them. You know, like some right knob ends that kind of like think they're like the bee's knees of music. They haven't quite made it, like, but they see themselves as semi-professional. and there's normally people that were like around in the 70s, you know, when they were doing like workmen's clubs. Yeah. And they say, well, you know.
And they're still on the verge of making it now.
But they never are!
No.
They never are! That's the point! They never are. They're never going to make it. Do you know what I mean?
No.
But the open mics are an awesome way to get started. I got started doing open mics. Yeah.
I did it. Yeah, I did as well. And I loved it. Can't tell you how nervous I was doing my first over. I mean, you don't seem to get nervous. I was like, really, you do. I was really shy and like trying to, just really nerve wracking.
I used to get like my arse used to do this when I first started. Do you know what I mean? I used to get up on the stage and be like, oh no, I got to sing, you know, sing and play my stuff. Yeah. You know, and generally, sometimes it was good, and there was a lot of times when it was pretty shocking. Yeah.
But a lot of the times in open mics, it doesn't matter. That's why that's so good, isn't it?
Well, that's it. That's it. And I think that's the main thing about the actual.
Yeah, because if it's 3 songs, if it's awful, people just have a drink and chat a bit, or just clap with them, and it's a good one.
I love it when people like, you know, just, you know, get on the stage and they give it a good go. Yeah. And I really appreciate it, because there ain't you know, the one thing I fucking hate is when you see these people, they go, oh, you could have done this a little bit better, or you didn't sing very well. And I said, what do you do? What do you actually do? Do you do anything?
Yeah.
And what do they say?
Yeah. It's not like the original Pink Floyd.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know.
Or you missed this bit out, or you didn't do the harmonies.
Yeah. Do you know, I went to an open mic, me and my mate Mike, Ed, and we went to this place. It was some hotel, and it was like in Bristol, and I can't, obviously not going to mention the name of the hotel, but you go like underground, and we weren't told what sort of open mic it was. So it was basically me taking my acoustic guitar along and playing some stuff, and Mike with his electric guitar. And anyway, we get down to this thing. It's really like a real serious sort of like an invite open mic. Yeah. And we sat down, and we're playing away, you know. And sorry, we weren't playing away at the time. We were just chatting and stuff, and listening to a bit of music. And this guy gets up on the stage, and he's like, "Oh, you know, I feel really." He was writing his own songs, like, and they were lovely. They were really nice songs, But then he got to this point where he starts going, I've written a song about my girlfriend, you know, and unfortunately, you know, like she left me. And we're like, oh yeah, cool, like, you know, like this is quite interesting, like, you know, real like John Denver thing. And he went, for the weekend. For the weekend. Do you know what I mean? What's all that about?
Well, it must have given them inspiration.
But what was quite amusing was, as we were like basically, you know, like sitting there listening to his music, Mike went off because he was in a bit of a, he was trying to figure out what it was about, and he said, "Rich, come and have a look at this." And I was like, "What's going on?" Like, and there was he took me around the corner, and on the wall there was like a triangle of photographs of like just people holding acoustic guitars.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, like Mike's bought is electric guitar, and anyway, we did our thing. And what was interesting, you know, these were like really, it was a weird thing because you had like hen parties and stag do's, you know, and then you had like these really serious people playing like acoustic music, but obviously me and Mike were playing towards the general people, which obviously the manager liked. And we got to the stage, and then we were told by the person running it, we wanted something a little bit more mellower than that, you know, a little bit of jazz.
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
Want some jazz?
Well, remember that one. I mean, they can go wrong, can't they? Sometimes they advertise as open mic nights, and it's just like a little self-help group or something in there that or people that want to share their own thing. It's like that one that we went to that dragged you over on a Sunday night in Bristol.
Oh, the poetry thing.
Yeah, and we went in, and for a start, it was an open mic night advertised as, and you went in, and there was a circle of chairs with people all sitting facing each other, and there wasn't any extra chairs for us, anybody to sit at.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like,
and I think that was the thing, wasn't it? You know.
And then the other thing, the guy sort of we opened the door, and he was halfway through his poem, and he stopped and he went, "Well, I'll start again," he said, and it was like.
Yeah, but that was the thing though. I think those sort of things are quite pretentious, aren't they? And I think that's what gives some open mics. Like, I'm not saying like the thing is, I think those sort of open mics, they got their own little clique, their own little group.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously if you're not part of that group, you can be ostracised from that group. You know, which I find quite. I've had it happen a couple of times, which is it. Which this is I'm going to talk about the negative parts of what I've seen in some open mics. Yeah. You know, I went to one open mic, and the guy knew that I played guitar. Took my guitar. I've never been to this thing before, and this guy was running it, and he saw me walking through the door, and I was like, oh cool, like, you know, I'll get new place. Like, sit down, and I see somebody else knew me, and I was like, oh, all right, Rich, how you doing? And I was like, oh yeah, awesome. I'm having a great time, you know, having a few drinks. Oh, you gonna play guitar? Yeah, I'll play a little bit, but my guitar's in the car, you know what I mean? Anyway, the night went on and stuff, and then I'm basically sat there waiting, and then he looked at me and he went, "Oh, do you want to get your guitar?" And I thought he was talking to me, but no, he was talking to the bloke behind me. He had already been up once before, and then I sat down, and I'm waiting to obviously right, and then he came up to me and went, "Oh, have we got a time for you at the end of the night?" And I was like, "You fuck right off! Why are you playing at the end of the night?" You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, like.
Well, that's the other thing that there's that kind of there's the other sort that like they sort of fix the running order, or like the worst one I've seen is when 3 people came in as a band, right, and like the band did 3 songs, and then the guitar player, he did 3 songs, then the female singer, she did 3 songs, and it was the same band that come and accompany each other, and nobody else could get a look in.
Yeah.
And then you get the other ones, the opposite ones, like the one that we were at the other night that should have been total rubbish, should have been total shit, really, because there's nobody in the pub, and there's just a few of us about, and like, it was brilliant. They just had everybody up, like there was the Dark Horse, what's he called again? The Dark Horse Jeff or whatever.
So I got people obviously won't know Jeff, but we have a friend called Jeff Daniels.
Yeah.
And I've known him for like he must be getting on for about 4 or 5 years. Jeff, unfortunately, his eyesight ain't that great, his health ain't that great, but he's a real. This is the great thing about music.
Oh,
hello, is our Millie, our dog. This is great. She joined in as well. But this is the interesting thing, that Jeff had never ever wanted to be part of, sorry, let me rephrase that. He wants to be part of the music scene, and that's where the open mic is great, because he's always been part of the music scene due to that, because it's a social thing. But I never ever seen him sing and play until the other night.
No, apparently that's just the second time ever, and the last time was...
He was epic.
He was brilliant.
He was epic. Like,
what a voice.
Way better than probably 95% of the people I see playing and stuff.
It was like a cross between sort of, I don't know, there's a bit of Johnny Cash in there, was it? Sort of a little bit of...
He was sexual
country
chocolate,
singer.
I tell you. I tell you. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite extraordinary as that.
I've just known because I bought his guitar. He had a guitar called Elaine.
Elaine?
Yeah, and I bought it. I didn't know it was called Elaine when I bought it, but he's told me since that was, that's the name of the guitar.
Did he name that guitar, did he?
Yeah, he had a name for it, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, what sort of guitar is it?
Well, it's a Yamaha.
A Yamaha. Hey, you see, Yamaha guitars have come on really well, haven't they?
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean? They're good guitars, aren't they?
Well, Elaine sings. She does. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
What sort of... Do you make her sing?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I'll just tickle her strings and she's on.
Yeah, the G string, that's the one that's the one I try and stay away from. Well, not too much anyway, do you know what I mean? But actually, I like playing the G string a lot. That's a really bad joke, actually, the guitarists use a lot. You know,
it
you
is,
that?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm playing the G string.
But if you're going to make a joke about a string, that's the one. You know, there's not many other ones you can't really do.
No. It's quite strange, isn't it, really? But go back to the open mics.
Yeah.
Now, I do find them a little bit, like I said, I think that, like, for a new musician, I think they are so good. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
you know what I mean? You can get your sort of you can go sort of like to these things, and you can just get up and give it a go, and hopefully nobody judges you.
Well, exactly. That's what I was going to say, because there's people at that open mic night, the Valindra that we used to go to, and there's people. I mean, there's this thing. The audience join in and sort of shake us, and you get people that just get out and they just sing with no accompaniment whatsoever. Just sing their favourite songs or whatever.
Yeah.
And you had all these characters that used to get up, and you used to have, especially when Clive the Legend, when he was there with his washboard and all that sort of stuff, and like it's brilliant. You could not buy that. You couldn't like put on a show like that, because it's just informal, and it's just like a big community sort of willing each other on.
Well, is it a big community? I mean,
well, the music stops and then it's not, is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you put like in Bristol,
the
community is fairly large, but it's not massive, is it?
No,
it's not really that big, like a thing. And if you think about it, like if you go to some cities and stuff, they ain't got like very strong. Not such a strong musical influence as Bristol has in the open mic scene.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the other strange thing I always find, there's never no open mics on a Friday. Is there?
That's true, yeah.
Why is that? What do you think that is?
Don't know.
Do you think there's better things?
Well, I think there's just that they're just trying to fill. There's lots of people probably go out anyway on a Friday, so therefore, what's the point really? They're looking at just trying to get lots of people in the pubs and the venues, aren't they?
Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose you could draw. I mean, I've actually managed to get people leave a whole pub, playing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, this is how it is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But like I said, do you know, it's really funny. When I first started playing like in front of people, I have to thank Mike for that, because basically Mike, my mate Mr. Palomaris.
Is that who Open Mike's is named after? After Mike?
Well, he's like the godfather of Port's Head, of the music scene.
Yeah.
Well, when I met Mike, I just moved to Clevedon, and basically I never played guitar in front of anyone because I was a shy, a very, very recluse. Would say boo to a goose. Because, you know, like it wasn't like when I was growing up. If you listen to Guns N' Roses, it wasn't like deemed cool, you know. Like I love Guns N' Roses and all those sort of bands. I was kind of like, or you know, I always liked playing guitar, but people, you know, people I was around, they weren't really into that sort of thing. So I was kind of a closet guitarist, and would never get up in front of play in front of anyone. Anyway, Mike used to run this like little acoustic thing in the White Hart in East Gordana.
Yeah.
I ever told you a story?
No.
No.
But Mike's perfect because he's so extrovert.
But that's it. Well, we have to get him involved in this in our little project. This is obviously of
the trouble is, if
episode 01.
We'll never get a word in though if Mike's there, will he? Because he'll get excited.
Well, I thought of a little segment for him.
Okay.
Where he can. Well, we were discussing this where he goes around different public toilets and he checks out the reverb quality. The reverb quality of recording is acoustic and singing.
You should take a harmonica. Harmonica always sounds.
God, I tell you what, you can't. Do you know that's where I always practice. Generally, is in a toilet with tiled, because of the reverb.
Yeah.
Oh, the reverb's fantastic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is which is great.
Yeah.
By the way, sorry.
You know what they say? The better the splashback, the better the sound. You know, that's what
you got a splashback, mate, to appreciate it. I tell you. But no. Go back to what I was saying. So basically, my mates, acquaintances, they weren't the best of people to be around. You know what I mean? And this is where music and open mics are very cool. So I basically went to this place, and I'm sort of like got in there, and I'm thinking, you know, I walked in. And I was very judgmental back in them days. And I was like, oh, I don't know if this is for me, like, you know what I mean? Like, they look at it. Because it was like a country pub, they sat in a corner, and I felt a little bit inferior and a bit worried about stuff, you know? Anyway, cut long story short, Mike must have heard I had a guitar, and he sort of like, he said, you got a guitar, have you? And I was like, Becky, my wife, she said, do you want to? He said, go get your guitar, like. So I went and got my guitar and I started playing, and
that was it.
And that was it. And through that, I've done loads of stuff.
That's how I met you.
Was it?
Yeah, at Pill. You used to go to the open mic nights at Pill. That's where I knew you from.
Yes.
And you used to have had a few beers normally, and you used to get up and play the guitar.
I was pretty annihilated. I used to get quite annihilated back in them days.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people were there. I remember seeing down there, there being some sort of festival or hen night or something on, and there were women dancing on the tables at the open mic night.
Yes.
But the problem was the tables were full of empty glasses, and I was thinking, all loads of drunk women dancing away on these.
They could get impaled on like broken Stella glasses.
But you can guarantee if you went stop, they would all fall over. So you just couldn't do anything. You just had to like
have a little jiggle. I do that, mine. But you know, but like I said, like through those experiences, it just isn't it amazing, kind of like how it completely opens up your sort of like your mind.
There's so many different
cool
types.
People.
There's nearly one for everyone, isn't there? Really?
Yeah, but people are cool.
They
you
are.
know, but like if you kind of just sort of like give people a chance, and I think that's where music, like, do you know what I find strange about music? I could be in England, and I've gone all the way when I flew to Nepal. I met someone, and I was playing music over there. And funny enough, they're really into when I was in Kathmandu, they love 80s rock. Like, love it, totally love it. You know what I mean? But the people playing, you know, like that I met, and I was obviously playing along with them. We had like I was singing stuff they never heard it, but there was this wonderful, beautiful connection between what I was doing and what they were doing.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, it's been pretty epic, really. Do you know what I mean?
Cool.
So I think
It went dark there for a minute.
yeah, it did. Yeah,
You can see the light changing.
yeah.
now, though.
It's because of I got a timer on the screen. So like the screen over here, like it just goes off now and again. So I do apologise for that. But then we are doing a podcast. Well, not a podcast, but it is a podcast, a vlog on the cheap. We've got a mic balanced on a mic stand because it doesn't fit in the little screw hole, the little thread bit. I've got a webcam up there, and we're doing your camera on a Huawei P10 Plus.
There you go.
Which is
I'm pleased to know that. Really.
well, yeah. You know, this
Is that like a telephone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, like it's a good way of getting to screens, and we're doing this on the cheap. I don't know what we should call ourselves. Maybe vlog on the cheap, or I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to make something. We don't have to decide.
The
We
thing
can
is,
put
yeah,
something up.
Well, that's it. I mean, like we could always. I mean, at the end of the day, like I would say, like you could call it the Rich and Eddie show, but it sounds a bit pretentious. Do you not think?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I think it should.
Makes my balls ache thinking about it, to be honest.
Yeah. We could call it Balls Ache. That would be a good
Balls
name for
Ache.
it. Yeah. And we could just like moan on about stuff.
Well, yeah, well that's it, you know. I was also thinking of like, and so we've gone off the topic of open mics, but it doesn't matter because we will get back on it again. But I was definitely thinking about intros, so I was like kind of thinking something like this. So I'll do a beat, and you could maybe just like add to it, sort of like a, so it'd be something like Eddie and Rich show, or something like that. And
I'll just let you do it.
I'll do like a Eddie and Rich show.
That would work. Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
And then I don't need to add anything because I can't do that anyway. Not without sort of eating a goat curry or something like that. That might make me sort of make noises.
Yeah.
But that has all sorts of side effects. Somebody once fed me goat curry. And it was like not good. Wasn't good. You don't want to be in a festival. If you eat goat curry, you want to be in a tent that's quite near the toilet block.
Like it really, like just it's very explosive. Is it?
It is, yes. So it's difficult sort of rushing when you've got a long way to go. And,
That's not
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That sounds
My friend Tristan, he's sort of it's his fault really.
good. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, making you the
Well, he suggested the goat curry in the first place.
yeah. Probably not the best thing to do.
No.
See, that's funny thing. Like,
It's a music connection, though.
well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Do you know what? Maybe, I think that's probably maybe we're slightly linked because when I went to this random festival with Becky, like this. What was it called? I can't remember the name of the festival, but it come to me, mate. But basically, when we got there, I pitched this massive tent up with a girl called Rhea and this other girl and called Kate, and Becky went as well, and obviously I went, and I pitched it right next to the public toilets, which was what it wasn't the best idea. Do you know what I mean? People getting absolutely smashed, and then going, and you could just the toilet just go, people going in and out of the toilet, and the smell.
That's what we should do next vlog. We should do festival stories.
Yeah.
That follow on because there's loads of them. You know?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I think because it's interesting, isn't it? Like because they're so surreal.
Yeah, they're totally different. They're nearly all totally different as well. Depends on the music that's on, the kind of audience you get. There's even one called Solar Sphere that is like music and stargazing.
Oh,
and there's like, yeah, so they have like exhibitions and talks all about the stars and the solar systems and stuff, and they have like midnight sort of everybody goes up and gazes at the stars and stuff like that.
That's
And then you
beautiful.
have like spacey music and stuff.
Do you know what? Do you know what? There's nothing more wonderful than looking at the stars.
If you can see them now for the light, there's so much light pollution you can't really see them very well.
There's like I met a guy I know called James Hollinsworth. You know James Hollinsworth?
No.
Really good singer, really good guitarist, and he's written a song about light pollution, where like basically he was sat in a city, and he couldn't really see the stars.
Yeah.
Because the artificial lights were polluted.
When my kids were about sort of 10, we went up to visit my folks in Northumberland, and we came out the house on the night time, and they were going, wow! And we're going, what? And they're going, the stars! And they've never realised they've never seen like all the stars like you see.
Well, that's the thing. You know,
that's sad, really.
If you go somewhere that's really clear, you can see
So
beyond.
the planet is burning. It must be. When you look at it, that's what all the light is. Surely it's like, well, we're like.
Yeah, but you can see like
Crazy.
you can see the stars.
Yeah.
But then you can sort of like see beyond the stars and beyond the stars again. Like it's like a parallax. If you go like I was in a place called Algonquin Park in Canada, in this beautiful place, where you know it's a nature reserve, but it's the size of Wales.
Okay.
So it's huge, but there's no lights, nothing.
No.
Just bears and moose
The
and Japanese taking photographs.
Kielder Forest is like a light-free zone.
Oh, it's lovely. But apparently the best place to see the stars is actually Langorse Lake.
Where's that then?
It's in Wales.
Cool.
So yeah, but it's a big lake. That's why it's called Langorse Lake.
Whereabouts is it? Langhorse.
By Langorse, yeah. but the thing is that those sort of like those places are just like it's so nice because it's just beautiful.
I used to be able to see at certain times of the year. I used to be able to see the aurora borealis out my window when I was up in Northumberland.
Yeah.
And it's like, so you just took it for granted. Like you see all the greens and the reds and everything on certain nights and stuff jumping up and whatnot. Because you probably wouldn't see it now though. Too much light pollution.
No. Have you used one of these apps as the?
No.
You got these apps that you get on your phone, and you basically, or I think you get them on an iPad. You basically as you move your.
Is that on the telephone?
Yeah, and you move it up, and it tell you that. Yeah, and you move it around, and you can see I don't know what I'm even showing you.
I can see it there now. That's the light effect. Sorry, yeah.
That's it. I was holding my imaginary phone up. I can't do that because it's filming you.
So wild.
But
That's what we should call it. Wild Times. Look, that's what we should call it, because it's just
Wild Times.
Yeah.
What the vlog?
Yeah.
Why?
Ed and Rich's Wild Times. Well, because they're not that wild. We're just like sitting on our butts, talking to each other.
Well, yeah, well, I'm not that wild, to be honest. I'm quite a socially inept person, really.
I thought I was going to burn out. I thought, my dad died when I was quite young, so I had this sort of doomy, and I was a Jimi Hendrix fan, and he died, and then various other people, all the rock stars. So I thought I was going to burn out when I was, so I was kind of, I wasn't bad, but I was quite wild, as in I was try anything, because I expected to die by the time I was about 20, and then you got to 22 and you thought, oh, what now? It's like, so therefore I just sort of kept going, really.
Were you all your mates like that then, really?
No, just me.
Just you?
Yeah.
You just like broke the mould?
yeah, well there was a few of them. We used to be like, well, it was a little village in the middle of Northumberland, so, and we were like sort of the hippie biker types.
Yeah.
So my mate had bought a BSA motorbike, an A10, and he'd got it off a Hell's Angel.
Yeah.
And he bought it, and it had these high pipes with no and a little triangular seat and stuff like that, and no lights, no wiring. If you take all the wiring off an old bike, then you don't need. If you take all the electrics off, you don't need them for the MOT.
Yeah.
So we used to be. I suppose we used to be quite wild. He was a bit of a legend because he came flying round a bend, and the school bus was stopped, getting some kids on, and he like fell off his A10 and it like slid past the school bus, and then he like just ran after it and picked it up and started it up again and drove off. So everybody, all the generation below him knew exactly who he was.
That's epic. That's a real entrance, mate.
It was, yeah.
So what does he do now then?
Well, he's doing now. He sort of works on farms. He's a farmer, and but he still does. He was also, I think it's 1998. He was Birdman of Bognor, because he was into hang gliding and flying. So that's where you jump off jump off a cliff or a pier or something? You see how far you can go out to sea. Yeah. So he won that in 1998 as well.
I forgot. You got to be pretty bright to Was it a hang glider, was it? Or did
I think it was a hang glider.
I was going to say, because I know they do competitions where they build the gliding apparatus.
Yeah.
Like a bathtub of wings. Do you know what I mean? Feel like a soapbox races.
Yeah, he once took me out to help him. He said, "Would you like to come hang gliding, Mug?" Yeah. I said, "Oh yeah, that sounds interesting. That sounds good." What he meant was, "Would you like to help me carry the hang glider from the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill, so you can jump off again, and then you have to walk down again and help him carry the hang glider back up to the top again." So I never went again. I just went once.
Did you just do it once? I told him fuck off. Or you can go fuck right off. Why you do that? Oh come on, mate. Look at that. Come on, mate.
Hang gliding.
Come on,
it'd be great fun. Yeah.
It'd be great fun.
Yeah.
What,
Just help
your
me
shit
carry
up a
this
hill?
up to the top of
Carry
the mountain.
your shit up a hill? You have a fucking laugh. You are seriously having a bubble bath. No, my dad had a friend. This is a true story. And one of his friends, called Fred, he won the world championship for not modelling camera wise, but doing little balsa wood models.
Okay.
I think like quarter scale aircraft and stuff like that. Anyway, and he bought a microlight for a bit of fun. I don't know how much you pick a microlight for up in like the 70s. It was probably.
I've got another story about, because Selby had. This is my mate. Selby he had microlight. But carry on.
Oh yeah, the fish was. And anyway, my dad had a mate called Adrian, and he was proper crazy. And he basically, they took it up to a place called Dundry.
Yeah, I know.
Right, Dundry. And they decided, because this Adrian he'd had no flying lessons in the micro, no training whatsoever. And they decided for a bit of fun, because he had share in his microlight with this guy called Fred, and they decided to basically taxi it around the field for a bit of fun. And he actually took it off. He was like flying around. He was flying around, and he was trying to, and he was like, apparently for maybe about half an hour, 45 minutes or whatever it was, flying around. Apparently he was like absolutely screaming, trying to get down. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Trying to hang his legs.
Yeah. But then he kind of like got because obviously his weight shifted, didn't it? So he kind of got the skills to like basically be able to like land it, and he landed. He actually landed it with no experience, and
that's like epic. Because that's like Selby, like they got, because farms have to diversify to make money or whatever. They've actually got a little airstrip on their farm. And a building, so people can rich people with aeroplanes can park their planes there and come out and take them out, and they pay so much rent or whatever for that. And he actually had a plane himself to start with, and he got it cheap because it was apparently a plane called the Cessna. Don't know anything about planes.
Oh, Cessna, yeah.
It was a Cessna, but it had been crashed, so he got it cheap. This Cessna, and they put it back together, And he sort of, he knew how to fly sort of hang gliders and how to, and he was an ex-mechanic, and he sort of used to have microlights.
Yeah.
He'd never flown a plane before, so they sort of did it all up because it was crashed, and they got, oh, what do we do now? And I thought, well, we'll have a go with it. And they had so they got the instruction book.
Yeah.
Download, and they like took off in it, and took it around the field, and brought it back. It was a first flight up with the instruction book there, so that you know.
See, I heard a story. That there was I met this guy, who's my dad's friend. He's proper weird, to be honest. He was like, he had number one, like a 60s number one.
Okay, yeah.
But he, yeah.
Thanks for clarifying that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like proper oddball. Anyway, well, anyway, I went. He plays bass actually.
Bass players.
Well, you know.
I play bass, by the way.
Oh yeah. But on a serious note, he was saying they were having this conversation like two brothers that were in who basically had like a school. Oh no, not school, an engineering firm it was, and they basically maintained aircraft. So anyway, these two brothers, they started to take the plane off, and they were flying around, and basically did a roll in the aircraft, and as it went upside down, one of the seats were bolted in, and one of the brothers actually went through the canopy. So he had half his body hanging out the canopy as they were flying. Obviously, he got quite seriously hurt. Hello, Millie. And basically, they landed, and of course, the FAA obviously heard what went on, because obviously you can't really hide that facts, you know. Somebody's nearly fallen out of an aircraft, you know what I mean? Landed. Yeah. Russian Airlines.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But they lose doors in Japan still, don't they? Yeah.
Eh?
They lose doors off their planes in Japan.
Do they?
Yeah, so recently, yeah.
Do you know why we wear seatbelts in aircraft? Now I know what it was. An aircraft.
In case they stop fast.
No, it was to do with an airline in Japan or China or something like that, and it dropped so many thousand feet, and because some people don't have their seatbelts on, half of them were asleep, and some hit the hit the ceiling. Do you know what I mean? You know, and that's why when I'm in an aircraft, I always have my seatbelt on.
Good move.
Well, I was just saying, like, you know.
I don't know what else to say to that.
There's not a lot to say.
What was the story? That wasn't the story, but never mind.
No. But no, like, anyway.
Tell you what, though,
Go on.
Rita Lynch, be on soon.
Yeah, we better end this, but we shall do episode 2 maybe next week.
Yeah.
And
sometime after the husky tones on afterwards. So after the husky tones.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cheers, man. And this is episode 1 finished.
Cool.
Awesome.
Oh, dog sticking its ears out. That must be the end.